Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Bashim, Ashah, Barakatah, to all the brothers out there. Shalom, Yahweh, Shemar, Tham, Bashim, Ashah, to all the sisters out there. This is ISUPK Sabbath class, it's been a heck of a week, I'm just glad to sit on the Sabbath, IUIC been talking just because they swore on the KC4, but there was some strong brothers. There were no cowards, There wasn't no cowards, just like there ain't no cowards off in this camp. The whole school, there's no cowards, So we let them have their little laugh, it's all going to come back on them, But we're gonna talk about the Sabbath day, Abraham. It's like Abraham, how the Most High say he was his friend, that's a title, to be bestowed on you, to be the Most High's friend. You call it, hey, that's my boy right there. That's got to be a heck of a title, And then he promised him, he gonna make them a nation. It's gonna be it's gonna be like the sand of the sea, can't be numbered. And we done grew since then. Back then we were small, but most of us off in the penal system. A lot of us across the borders, trying to get over to America. We spread it all over. But we are when Christ come back, he gonna fix all that. And we had have Maria go to Genesis 11 and 26. Before we start that, that's what we're gonna start at 11:26. But before we start that, let me do things in order. Mine's just a minute up here, Sharala means to Israel. Amacho, Wayapaya, Hakwado, mean turn to face the east. Say these prayers. It's the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, and it reads, Avanawa, Shabbat Shemaya, Wadash, Hayah, Shabka, Yahweh, Malabaka, Tava'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Asha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemaya, Nathanganawa, Nakam, Ka, Yawar, Wasalat Lanawa, Kabawah Lanawa, Kasalat Nawa, Kabawah Wahanawa, Wala'ah, Tabaya Anawa, Manasayawa, Abba, Awashanawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Walpara, Layan, Aman, in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. And the cost of power. In the Hebrew, it reads, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, Baba Kwasha, the Father Nawa,
Akash, Rapa, Kamala, Kala, Wakamadawa, Hakash, Lata, Hamatazarian, Hakash, Lahapaya, Hamathian, Hakash, Rakawa, Hatamala, Lagarsha, Bashil, Yahshai, the bottom in English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it. The blessings in Hebrew, and it reads, Barakatah Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, why Mayak Yahweh, why Alaya, Mata Zabaya, Alawap Yahana, Alalawapya, Hasaraya, Hakwadazaya, Hakayaya, Wakaakya, Yahweh, Bashil Yahshaf, the Balama, in English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, Commander General Yohana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Bless Israel in Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Lanawa, Wa Yasharal, Wa Hayabathia, Sarapaya, Barak Rabah, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the Ba'alaman, in the English. So, the Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in Hebrew. Asha, Ayana, Ahariya, Mahaya, Yama'a, Azariya, Mahaya, Yahweh, Asha, Shayamaya, Arataza, Aviathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Yawan, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawan, Wala'a, Yashashan, Shamamar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Kazaka, Ayah, Yamyanka, Yamawan, Yawaman, Hashamash, Lawa, Yakaka, Wayara, Yala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Maka, Yamai, Yashamar, Atha, Napashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazataka, Waka, Mata, Balam. In English, it reads, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help coming from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee shall not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, even forevermore. Psalms 83 in Hebrew, and read, Alahayam, Alahadamayilaka, Al-Thasharash, Wa-Thashquat, Al, Kayahana, Awa-Yaka, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Al-Amaka, Yahara, Sawadah, Wayatha, Wayatazawa, Al-Tazapan, Yaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Waka Yada, Magaya, Wala Yazaka, Sham Yasharala, Awada, Kaya, Nawata, Laba, Kaya, Yakawa, Aya, Yaka, Maya, Yakawa, Katawa, Ahaya, Adawan, Washaba, Allah, Yam, Mawaba, Waharaya, the ball, Wawan, Wamala, Palasha, I'm Yashabya, Tazawa, Damashawa, Nalawa, Ayam, Ayawa, Zarawai, Labanya Lawa, Salah, Asha, Laam, Kamayan, Kasa Sarah, Kayam, Nanaka, Kwayashwan, Nasha Mawa, Baya Dara, Hayawa, Dama, Lahadla, Dama, Yasha Thamawa, Nada, Yamawa, Kara, Wakazabak, Wakatazamanai, Wakas Kaladasa Yakamwa, Asha, Amawa, Nawa Sha, Nanawa, Ata, Nawa, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagaga, Kakwash, the Panyawaka, Kaash, Kamatawariyawa, Wakalama, Talaha, Haraya, Khan, Dawa, Nama, Basaraya, Wabasa, Wabasa, Wakata, the Ka, Tabahala, Mala, Payahan, Pala Yaban, Wayabakwashwa, Shaka, Yahawa, Yabaswa, Payahan, Palawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shaka, Yahawa, Yabaswa, Payahan, Palawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shaka, Yahawa, Yabawaswa, Bahawa, Ayat, Skapara, Abawa, Dawa, Kaya Ata, Shaka, Yahweh, Labaka, Yawan, Kahata Atabaza. In English, keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace. Be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let them cut them off of being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom and the Israelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, the Baal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They are hoping the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a rail, and like Zeel, yea, all their princes as Zabah and as Zamunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble for the wind, as the fire burneth in wood, and as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempests, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. These curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, listen to us now, right now, saying evils and curses and punishment and destruction and death to the heathen that speak against us, the prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school, saying evils and curses and punishment and destruction and death to the heathen, and shake loose the pockets of the rich of Israel. They refuse to get to the school, force their riches into thy sanctuary, saying evils and curses and punishment and destruction and death to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison systems, Planned Parenthood, all the government of our enemies, Amalek synagogues, armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Pazi Kamatazi, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, opened up the internet and the airways, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift death to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. That loose all the terrorists, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and destroy. Cause the terrorists to come against America and destroy them in their strongholds. Let America shake at the hands of the terrorists. Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and kill all the heathens that come up against us as we speak that word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause it to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you always. So be it. Sorry, turn. See? See here. But like I said, we're talking about Abraham. You know, really, you still there? Yeah, we're talking about Abraham. You know, he did. Yeah, he did things. You know, I know nobody else would do. You know, we're gonna get into that later. We're gonna start at just 11 to 26.
Come on. This book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 26. And it reads, now Terah lived 70 years, Salakia, and begot Abraham, Nahar, and Haran.
You know, so at that time, you know, before his name got changed to Abraham, they called him Abram. You know, go ahead.
Come on. Verse 27. This is the genealogy of Terah. Terah begot Abram, Nahar, and Haran. Haran begot Lot.
Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 28. And Haran died before his father Terah in his native land, in Ur of the Chaldeans.
But they was living at back then, that was southern Babylon. That's the day they would call modern day Iraq. You know, you have a lot of atheists. You got a lot of Kemetic scholars trying to say, even you have the Ishmaelites trying to say Abraham was actually, Islam, but as you know, Islam, they come along to about thousands of years later, they ain't come around to that, but they always, but then I can't understand it. They don't follow the Bible, but they always like to go to the Bible and try to prove us wrong with our own book, like that. But they'll never go to their books, their records, They always want to come and use ours against ours. We have priests that eat them up, make them eat their words. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 29. Then Abram and Nahar took wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarah, and the name of Nahar's wife, Makah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Isupk. Verse 30.
Hold on, right a minute. Let me say something.
All right.
I remember one time I was watching something on YouTube. They tried to say Abram and Sarah were sisters and brothers. They tried to bring that argument, out. But as you see, but the scriptures gonna prove them wrong. We didn't rock like the other nations. That's why the Most High say, you're a separate nation unto myself. I don't want you to be nothing like them. That's why he chose a man like Abraham. You can go ahead.
Come, sir, verse 30. But Sarah was barren and had no child.
As I said, like I said, just like the like when the Most High, cursed Eve, and he will multiply, like a session. Not only was it gonna hurt being giving birth, hey, there's a good chance you might not get pregnant. That's how he cursed the woman. You might want a child that can't have a child. That's what a lot of women. A lot of women, desire a child, can't even have one. Or if they do have one, they have to spend so much money and probably don't have a child till they 40s or something like that. The older you get, and when you have a child, the more in danger the child may be. It may come out with, Down syndrome, may have glaucoma of the eyes or anything like that. That's the thing. But like I said, that was the curses to the woman. You're gonna greatly multiply your like concession, but also you're gonna want a child that can't have one. That was the curses unto Eve, unto all women. That's the curse she brought up upon the woman. You can go ahead.
Come, verse 31. And Terah took his son Abram and his grandson Lot, the son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarah, his son's Abram's Salakia wife, and they went out with them from Ur of the Chaldeans to go to the land of Canaan, and they came to Haran and dwelt there.
Now how is Sarah Abraham's sister when scripture basically says is Terah's daughter-in-law? You can't be his can't be both. Either that's his daughter or daughter-in-law. So there you go, right there. They'll chop that up right there. Go ahead.
Come, sir, verse 32. So the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran.
Keep going.
Chapter 12, verse 1. Now the Lord has said to Abram, get out of your country, Salakia, from your family and from your father's house to a land that I will show you.
Yeah. The main reason, see, back then in the Babylonians, they must have served over in that area. They served thousands of God, different deities. And this fun thing, he had one man that served the Most High God. That's how he was chosen. Tell him get away from them. I'm finna, get away from them. I want you to get away from them. He said he gonna, he gonna show him the land. I'm finna give you some land. You gonna have your own. Go ahead.
Come, sir, verse 2. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing.
He said, we're gonna bless Abraham. He's gonna bless him. Get away from your folks. I'm gonna show you a land. I'm gonna bless you. Most people like, man, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't never leaving my family. Well, Abraham, hey, he did exactly what the Lord said. He got up and packed up all the stuff and started moving. Go ahead.
Come, sir, verse 3. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed.
So that bring us to right now. Like right now, we in captivity. We ain't in shackles, we ain't in chains no more. We ain't on the auction block, but we still, in captivity. But like I said, Most High just telling them, those who bless you, he gonna bless them. And them that curse thee shall curse you. And that applies to now. Even though I know it's bad right now, but it's gonna come a time. Them same people that blessed us, they gonna get blessed. The ones that cursed us, they're gonna be cursed. The one that put us in captivity, they're gonna go in captivity. Go ahead.
Come on, sir, verse 4. So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken to him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. Then Salaki, you want to verse 5, sir?
Go ahead.
Come. Then Abram took Sarah, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son, and all their possessions that they had gathered, and the people whom they had acquired in Haran. And they departed to go to the land of Canaan. So they came to the land of Canaan.
Yes, they went on, he gathered up everybody, he gathered up his wife, gathered up his nephew, well, he probably had men service at that time, and all that. And they went to Canaan. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 6. Abram passed through the land to the place of Shechem, as far as the terebinth Salakia, the terebinth tree of Moreh, and the Canaanites were then in the land. Salakia.
Yes, at that time they was in the land. They had a lot of other nations bordering them on what the land was out going to get them. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 7. Then the Lord appeared to Abram and said, to your descendants, I will give this land. And there he built an altar to the Lord, who had appeared to him. Salaki, who had appeared to him.
And so, built the altar, just like, just like Adam taught, and they went passed on down, and now Abraham doing, building the altar, get ready to do a sacrifice unto the Lord, for blessing him with that land. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 8. And he moved from there to the mountain east of Bethel, and he pitched his tent with Bethel on the west, and Aya and Salakia on the east. There he built an altar to the Lord and called on the name of the Lord.
Go ahead.
Come. Verse 9. So Abram journeyed, going on still toward the south.
So, built the altar, went to the Lord, and he called upon the name of the Lord, and Mosiah told him, keep going, you still got a ways to go, I'm gonna give you all this land. But just think, like we up here in America, we ain't got nothing, It seems like everybody got their own land, except for the 12 tribes. Even though a lot of them got their own land, hey, America and Europe done took over. So it's just like not having nothing. Just like you ain't got that. Why you think they all coming over here? Because they are resources that have been taken away from them. I mean, what you got Haiti. Look what they done did to Haiti. Made Haiti a poorhouse. We got to do the poor brothers in Jamaica. Our poor brothers over here in South and Central America. They don't strip them of everything. That's look at that. Then furthermore, look at what they done did to Judah over here in these states. Back in the late 60s when they put them drugs off it up. So by the time I came around, everything was drugs, pimping, numbers, all kind of ways to make money illegally. Back before my time, it wasn't like that. The way I hear, you always, you had it around, but the black man was still in the house, raising his family. Now, they teach a woman to be independent. They teach a woman to be independent. Really, they're not, because as they get when in their 20s, they wild. By the time they 30, or they don't went to church, ready to settle down, and gain about 50, 60 pounds. Now they want somebody. You know, back then when they was about 120, they didn't want nobody. They thought they was too much to have somebody. But you know, now they only put a pastor that told them, you know, just you know, you don't need no man, baby. God is God. They tell you, Jesus is your man. And then you hear a lot of them say they are married to married to Christ. You know, okay, sis, what up? You know, we're back. You know, back. But just go ahead and start. You know, go back and read.
Come on, sir. Verse 10. Now there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down to Egypt to dwell there, for the famine was severe in the land.
You know, so they were having a famine back then. You know, like I said, Egypt was, you know, rich. They about was one of the only nations that still had food. You know, Egypt always been a rich land. You know, until now, you know, to the most high decided, you know, it's time for them to go. You know, but you know they all went on into Egypt. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. Verse 11. And it came to pass when he was close to entering Egypt that he said to Sarah his wife, "Indeed, I know that you are a woman of beautiful countenance." Salakia. Verse 12.
Hold on for a minute.
Come.
Before we go okay, he turned around to Sarah and said, "Baby, you know you fine. You know you look good. You know, you know." He tell him, "No, you look good. You know, go ahead to verse 12."
Come on, sir. Therefore, it will happen when the Egyptians see you that they will say, 'This is his wife,' and they will kill me, but they will let you live."
Yeah. See, he's like, he said, "Baby, you know you look good." And I coming up there walking with you. They gonna say, "Hey, this is why. Hey, let's kill him and take his wife." He said, this what he thinking. You know, which probably would have happened. He was trying to, he trying to think of a way, just to save his life. Go ahead, read.
Come on. Verse 13. Please say, "You are my sister, that it may be well with me for your sake, and that I may live because of you."
Yes, he's like, yeah, he trying to save his life. He wants them to kill him. So he just, say, hey, you my sister. Hey, say I'm your husband. Hey, your sister. If they do, they're gonna kill me. But you gonna be alive. We'll both be alive. But I said then, I don't think Abraham knew the Most High was with him, but the Most High gonna show him. Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 14. So it was when Abram came into Egypt that the Egyptians saw the woman, that she was very beautiful.
Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 15. The princes of Pharaoh also saw her and commanded her to Pharaoh. And the woman was taken to Pharaoh's house.
They said, "Oh, look at this. Oh, she bad. Oh, I gotta tell the Pharaoh about this one." He's like, "Oh, I gotta take you to Pharaoh." So they took her to Pharaoh's house. Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 16. He treated Abram well for her sake. He had sheep, oxen, male donkeys, male and female servants, female donkeys, and camels.
Oh, see, hey, just because his so-called sister, he done made Abraham rich. Abram rich. He gave man servants, maid servant, she asses, he asses, camels and all that. Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 17. But the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarah, Abram's wife.
So that's the most I let you know. Hey, they playing. They messing with a married woman. So let me throw a little play their way, let them know they mistake. You know. Go ahead.
Come, verse 18. And Pharaoh called Abram and said, what is this you have done to me? Why did you not tell me that she was your wife?
Yeah. He's like, man, what you done did to me? Look at me. You see this? You see what's going on in my house? He said, how you gonna do that to me? Why you didn't tell me that was your sister? Why you tell me that's your sister? You know? Why you didn't tell me that? You know, go ahead.
Come, verse 19. Why did you say she's my sister? I might have taken her as my wife. Now, therefore, here is your wife. Take her and go your way.
He said, hey, man, hey, that's your wife. You take her and you get the heck on out of here. You know, you can take all the stuff I gave you, you gone. You know, yeah. See, you know, he's a wicked. They don't care nothing about sleeping with nobody wife, but they put around slept with the wrong wife. You know, try to sleep with the wrong wife. You know, and Most High punished them. You know, let them know, hey, I'm the one punished. He knew it was his God. You know, that's why he came to him and said, "What have you done to me? Your God is punishing me." You know, take everything I gave you and go. You know, go ahead.
Come, verse 20. So Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away with his wife and all that he had.
Yep, sent them out, sent them away. Everything he gave them, you know, everything he gave them, you know. So Abraham said fat right now. He's a rich man right about now. You know, he got plenty. All because he went off into Egypt. You know, even though it was a famine all through the land, nobody got to eat. Abraham came out of there with plenty. He got plenty to eat. We'll go to verse 30, chapter 13.
Come. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 13, verse 1. Then Abram went up from Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him to the south.
Go ahead.
Come, verse 2. Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver and in gold.
Abraham was very rich. Like when he left out of Egypt, they made him a very rich man just because he said his wife, his sister. They made him rich because they thought they was going to have their way with her. To let you know, if you're the Most High, can't nobody have their way with you. Okay, nobody have their way with you. Most High with you, who can be against you. Go ahead.
Come, verse 3. And he went on his journey from the south as far as Bethel, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai. Verse 4. To the place of the altar which he had made there at first, and there Abram called on the name of the Lord. Verse 5. Lot also, who went with Abram, had flocks of herd and tents. Verse 6. Come. Now the land was not able to support them, that they might dwell together. Salakia. For their possessions were so great that they could not dwell together, and there was strife.
Go ahead.
Come. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abram's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. The Canaanites and the Perizzites then dwelt in the land.
Yeah. Say like Lot and Abram had so much, you know, the land where it was at, you know, it couldn't support both of them, you know. And then they herdsmen, you know, Abram's herdsmen and Lot's herdsmen, you know, they are getting into it, you know. because there's not enough land to support them. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. Verse 8. So Abram said to Lot, please let there be no strife between you and me, and between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we are brethren.
Yeah, this one, Abram told him, hey, look here, ain't enough room for both of us, you my brother, let us, we don't want to fall out because, because we got, we ain't got enough space. Let's think of something. Go ahead.
Come on, verse 9. Is not the whole land before you? Please separate from me. If you take the left, then I will go to the right. Or if you go to the right, then I will go to the left.
Yeah, tell them, this is plenty of land out here. You can go, if you go to the left, I'll go to the right. If you go to the right, I'll go to the left. We got plenty of land to go to. We ain't got to just be stuck in this one spot. Go ahead.
Come on, verse 10. And Lot lifted his eyes and saw all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as you go towards Zoar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
Come on, verse 11. Then Lot chose for himself all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated from each other.
It's okay. So Lot chose to go east. Abraham went west. So Lot, he arrested toward Sodom and Gomorrah. We're gonna find out, what happens. Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 12. Abram dwelt in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelt in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent even as far as Sodom.
Go ahead.
But the men of Sodom were exceedingly wicked and sinful against the Lord.
It's already talking about Sodom already. They was wicked. They was wicked. The Most High say they was wicked. The word Sodom, that's where they get the word sodomy or Sodom, the sodomite. They all come from the word Sodom, from that city. You ever heard of a charge called sodomy? I ain't gonna go into what that is, but that's where that word come from a city called Sodom. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. Verse 14. And the Lord said to Abram, after Lot had separated from him, lift your eyes now and look from the place where you are, northward, southward, eastward, and westward. Verse 15. For all the land which you see, I give you, Salaki, I give to you and your descendants forever.
So that was we had our own land at one time. We had, just like they said up in Deuteronomy 28:1, if you follow my law, statutes, commandments, gonna bless you. You see, he let that be known. We had our own land. And no, we wasn't living in Africa. No, we was not living in Africa. We had our own land. It goes all the way into the Middle East. Or eastward and going west. And further south, we like I said, we was on the border of the Canaanites. That's the Canaanites. That's the Africans. You don't know who Canaan is. That was a son of Ham. Canaanite. They are one of the countries in Africa. Canaan. Go ahead.
Come. And I will make your descendants as the dust of the earth, so that if a man could number the dust of the earth, then your descendants also could be numbered.
He telling Abraham, "Hey man, I'm gonna bless you with so many children, you know, and grandchildren and great great grandchildren and great 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 grandchildren. And, you know, they ain't gonna be able to be numbered." And then Most High kept his promise too. He kept his promise. Abraham is you know descendants. We are everywhere. We all over the world. You can't name a place where we're not in. I don't know about the North Pole and the South Pole, you know, but I went down if it's about one or two off in there, you know. But I know we got some in Canada, you know. You know, I mean, when I went to Canada, I couldn't believe it myself. I was young then. You know, I was young. I didn't even know black people stayed in Canada. You know, I didn't even know it's cost to even go into Canada. Like I said, that weather kind of funny up there. You know, it stay, kind of cool most time. They have summers and stuff, but it ain't the summers like, it ain't humid like the South kind of summers, Go ahead.
Come. Verse 17. Arise, walk in the land through its length and its width, for I give it to you. Verse 18. Then Abram moved his tent and went and dwelled by the terebinth trees of Mamre, Salakia, which are in Hebron, and built an altar there to the Lord.
Yeah, take a walk. Go and see what all are engaged. You got so much land. Say, oh, this is yours. As far as you can walk, that's yours. That's everybody, and you got the, not to be picking on anybody. I remember being when I was young off of the Christian church, they always used to say, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But yeah, I never seen one time when they followed the laws of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Abraham was our forefather. He followed the law. They don't even follow the law. They feel like, yeah, when Christ died, that was done over, And then, and just tell anybody else, just like you got the LGBTQ, they got their own Bible. And the Bible, it says off of Revelation today, you're not supposed to add or take away from this book. And they did exactly that. Like I said, they didn't follow Abraham. That's why Most High got so many laws in here to tell you what he like and what he don't like. That's what he does. Now, go ahead.
Come, chapter 14, verse 1. And it came to pass in the days of Raphael, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasar, Shadolamar, king of Elam, and Tadal, king of nations, that they made war with Bera, king of Sodom, Bersha, king of Gomorrah, Shanab, king of Admah, Shemabar, king of Zebalim, and the king of Bela. All these joined together in the valley of Sadim.
Go ahead.
One verse, okay, come. 12 years they served Shadolamar. In the 13th year, they rebelled.
So all this time they had been serving Shadolamar, and now they want to rebel. Just like when anybody else want a good rebellion, they got together like that. We can overthrow him. So let's get together, see can we overthrow him. Go ahead.
Come, verse 5. In the 14th year, Shadalamer, and the kings that were with him came and attacked Rephaim in Ashtoreth, Kanaim, the Zuzim in Ham, the Ain in Shaveh, Karathim, and the Horites in their mountain of Seir, as far as El Paran, which is by the wilderness. Verse 7. Then come.
Yes, so they getting all their forces together. Everybody. They getting together. To go to war with Shadalamar. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 7. Then they turned back and came to in Mishpat. That is Kadesh, and attacked all the country of the Amalekites, and also Amorites who dwelt in Hazan, Tamar. Verse 8. And the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Admah, the king of Zeboim, something like, I don't know what that is out of one. And the king of Bela, that is Zoar, went out and joined together in battle in the valley of Siddim.
They got together. Yeah, it's time to rock. It's time to rock. We're gonna get up from under his hand. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 9. Against Shadalamar, king of Elam, Tadal, king of nations, Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasar, 4 kings against 5. Verse 10. Now the valley of Siddim was full of asphalt pits, and the king of Sodom and Gomorrah Salakia, and the king of Sodom and Gomorrah fled. Some fell there. The remainder fled to the mountains.
Go ahead.
Come, verse 11. Then they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their provisions and went their way. Verse 12. They also took Lot, Abram's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and departed.
Yeah, they after they got through whooping Sodom and Gomorrah and all the other nations that was with them, and they even took Lot too. They took everything. They took everything. Go ahead.
Come, sir. Verse 13. Then one who had escaped came and told Abram, the Hebrew, for he dwelt by the terebinth trees of Mamre, the Amorite brother of Eshcol and brother of Aner, Salakia, and they were allies with Abram. Verse 14. Now when Abram heard this, when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his 318 trained servants who were born in his own house, and went in pursuit as far as Dan.
They don't took my brother. So he got all 318 of his trained servants born in his house and armed them all. So we finna go get him. Go ahead.
Come. He divided his forces against them by night, and he and his servants attacked them and pursued them as far as Habah, which is north of Damascus. Verse 16. So he brought back all the goods, and also brought back his brother Lot and his goods, as well as the women and the people.
Abraham when they kicked butt, made him give up, made him give it all up, So let them know the Most High was with Abraham when he did that. They ain't had them but 318 men. And he went against a lot of nations. And he took 318 men and went and got a lot back and everything he owned back. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. Verse 17. And the king of Sodom went out to meet him at the valley of Shaveh, that is the king's valley, after his return from the defeat of Chedorlaomer, the king, and Chedorlaomer and the kings who were with him. Verse 18. Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was the priest of God Most High. And he blessed him and said,
Hold on.
Blessed be Abraham. Blessed be Abram of God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth.
Yeah, see, that's Melchizedek. That's one of the what is that about the second appearance of Christ being shown, through Melchizedek. It was like another, it's like Christ coming up on earth again. The first Adam was Christ. Melchizedek, that's a second one, Melchizedek, and he gave him he said, blessed Abraham. He was most priest of the Most High. Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 20. And blessed be God Most High, who has delivered your enemies into your hand. And he gave him a tithe of all.
Abraham gave tithe. You listen, sitting up here, listen to a lot of people who don't love the Most High on this law statutory. He'll tell you tithe. They try to say tithe can be fruit, tithes can be vegetable. You know what I'm saying? All kind of things. But everybody knows tithe is money. If they want to take some fruit up, you got plenty of, you got a garden or whatever, and if they want to take that, that's fine. But most of them, they want that 10% of your earnings, and 10% of your earnings that's not asking a lot. Like most, like most council will ask for, they'll want 20 or 30, or 30% of your tithes, and that's when it starts getting high. That's high tithes. 10% is not nothing. You blow that just at the store in 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 21. Now the king of Sodom said to Abram, give me the persons and take the goods for yourself. Verse 22. But Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have raised my hand to the Lord, God Most High, the possessor of heaven and earth. Verse 23. That I will take nothing from a thread to a sandal strap, and that I will not take anything that is yours, lest you should say, I have made Abram rich.
See, Abraham would take nothing from him. Because he know everything he got, it came from the Most High God. So he want him saying, hey, I made Abraham rich. No, I ain't taking nothing. I don't want nothing from him. So he don't even want a sandal strap from him. I don't want nothing from him. Most High take care of me. Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 24. Except only what the young men have eaten, and the portion of the men who went with me, Aner, Eshcol, and Mamre. Let them take their portion.
Now, now the other fellas, they can get something, you know. They know they wouldn't go with them, you know. You know, you can give them their portion, but me in my house, we don't need nothing from you. Most High take care of us, you know. Take care of us real good. Go to 15.
Come on. Book of Genesis, chapter 15, verse 1. After these things, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision, saying, do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield. Your exceedingly great reward. Verse 2. But Abram said, Lord God, what will you give me, seeing I go childless? And the hair of my house is Eleazar of Damascus.
Yeah, that's it. And Abraham said, you know, yeah, you know, yeah, I hate you, Most High, you know, I hear you, you know, you my shield, you know, but you know, but what you gonna give me? I don't have an heir. You know, if I was to die right now, the steward of my house would get everything. You know, when I want an heir to give my possessions to. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. So like I lost my place for a second. So like,
Verse 3.
come on, verse 3. Then Abram said, look, you have given me no offspring. Indeed, one born in my house is my heir. Verse 4. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him, saying, this one shall be your heir. Salaki, this one shall not be your heir, but one who will come from your own body shall be your heir.
Yeah, you let them
Verse,
know. You just need to let them know, hey, you're gonna have a child. You know, he'll come from your own bowels. You know that steward that's in your house, he's not gonna be your heir. You're gonna have your own heir from your body. Go ahead.
come on. Verse 5. Then he brought him outside and said, look now toward heaven and count the stars, if you are able to number them. And he said to him, so shall your descendants be.
Yeah, you know, I used to be able to go outside when we was young and look in the sky, and you couldn't count the stars. Now you know they done did so much, you know, pollution and all that. You can't see the stars like you used to. But I remember when you used to look, you couldn't even number the stars. You know, that's where it was back then. You couldn't number the stars. There was so many, and that's what Israel, you know, came to be. But right now, you know, we're in captivity, and we pray, you know, and we waiting while everybody else they scared. We waiting for Christ to come back. We are preparing ourselves for when Christ come back, because we want to go up in them chairs while everybody else thinking it's going to be all love. You know, Christ coming back with kisses and hugs and all that. No, he ain't gonna be none of that. He coming back with a soul. He coming back to kill. He coming back to destroy. You know, going back to the topic. Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 6. And he believed in the Lord, and he counted Slaki, and he accounted it to him for righteousness. Verse 7. Then he said to him, I am the Lord who brought you out of the Chaldeans to give you this land to inherit it. Verse 8. And he said, Lord God, how shall I know that I will inherit it? Verse 9. So he said to him, bring me a 3-year-old heifer, a 3-year-old female goat, a 3-year-old ram, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon.
Hey, everyone say, how I know I'm gonna get this land? Hey, bring me a goat, a ram, no, a turtle dove, no, a pigeon. You know, you finna give a sacrifice to me, and that's gonna be a covenant between me and you. It's gonna be a covenant between me and you that this land will be yours and your descendants. Go ahead.
Come on, verse 10. Then he brought all of these to him and cut them in two down the middle and placed each piece opposite the other. But he did not cut the bird in two. And when the vultures came down on the carcasses, Abram drove them away. Verse 12. Now when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and behold, horror and great darkness fell upon him. Verse 13. Then he said to Abram, know certainly that your descendants will be strangers in the land that is not theirs, and will serve them, and they will afflict them 400 years.
Right there,
Verse
hold it right there.
Okay.
He was talking about he was showing Abram, how his children were going to slavery in Egypt and served them for 400 years, and probably was showing them that they're going to do another 400 years, because this is exactly what we did. We did 400 years in Egypt. We did over 400 years here. It's probably what this was. I think he showed Abraham what was going to befall his children. Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 14. And also the nations whom they serve, I will judge. Afterward, they shall come out with great possessions.
And that's exactly what they did in Egypt. When they had put the lamb's blood across their doorposts, and across the top of their door, for the death angel to pass over them. They kicked them out of Egypt, because all firstborn child of man and beast died. So they kicked it again. They gave them gold, gave them all the goods of Egypt, just for them to get the heck up out of there. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 15. Now as for you, you shall go to your fathers in peace. You shall be buried at a good old age. Verse 16. But in the fourth generation, they shall return here. For the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet complete. Verse 17. And it came to pass when the sun went down, it was dark, that behold, there appeared a smoking oven and a burning torch that passed between those pieces. Verse 18. On the same day, the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, to your descendants, I have given this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river, the river of Euphrates. Say again, sir.
Euphrates.
The Euphrates. Verse 19. The Kenites, the Kenezanites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Rephaim, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Girgashites, and the Jebusites.
We're gonna be over all those people. Abraham was gonna be over all of them. No, he didn't. There's the people who land he bought over all those Hamites. All of them was Hamites, and that's who land they bought. It was going to just read a little bit more there. That'll be it. On verse 16.
Chapter 16. Now Sarah, Abram's wife, had borne to him no children, and she had an Egyptian maidservant whose name was Hagar. Verse 2. So Sarah said to Abram, now see, the Lord has restrained me from bearing children. Please go in my maid. Perhaps I shall obtain children by her. And Abram heeded the voice of Sarah.
And like the women back then, they had their problem. They had no problem that they husband took another rib. You know, matter of fact, they if they could have children, man, I could have children through her. You know, they ain't mine. Now you try to do that now, you finna be fighting, you finna be getting cussed out, you finna be getting called all kind of names, you gonna have to get your clothes, get out, you know, all that. Call yourself get another reel, you know. But this one she gave another reel because they was she was lacking a child. You know, she wanted motherhood. You can go ahead.
Come on, verse 3. Then Sarah, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, and gave her to her husband Abram, Salaki, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. After Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan. Verse 4. So he went into Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress became despised in her eyes.
She done okay. She done set up there, married Abraham, found out she found a baby. Now she looking sideways at Sarah. You know, hey, my son gonna be his heir. You know, my son gonna get everything he owned. So she looking at Sarah like, huh, you know, go ahead.
Come. Verse 5. Then Sarah said to Abram, my wrong be upon you. I gave my maid into your embrace. And when she saw that she had conceived, I became despised in her eyes. The Lord judge between you and me.
Did you see that? She blamed Abraham. And she the one said, hey, go, no, you can have my handmaid. But, you know, she blamed Abraham. Hey, you let me have that. You say you can get that. You know, you can get that. That's all you know, she yours. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 6. So Abram said to Sarah, indeed, your maid is in your hand. Do to her as you please. And when Sarah dealt harshly with her, she fled from her presence.
Yes, Abraham told him, hey, don't blame me. That's your handmaid. Do whatever to her that you want to do. That's yours. That's your property. You know, that's your handmaid. Do whatever you want to. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 7. Now the angel of the Lord found her by a spring of water in the wilderness, by the spring on the way, Salaki. Salaki, on the way to Shur, Salaki. And he said, Hagar, Sarah's maid, where have you come from? And where are you going? She said, I am fleeing from the presence of my mistress, Sarah. Verse 9. The angel of the Lord said to her, return to your mistress and submit yourself under her hand. Verse 10. Then the angel of the Lord said to her, I will multiply your descendants exceedingly, so they shall not be counted for multitude. Verse 11. And the angel of the Lord said to her, behold, you are with child, and you shall bear a son, and you shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord has heard your affliction. He shall be a wild man. His hand shall be against every man, and every man's hands against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren.
Ain't the Middle Eastern countries very rich. You know, ain't they a bunch of wild men? I remember back when I was young, you know, they was always hijacking planes. Every time you look through the 70s and 80s, it was always hijacking planes and stuff. It was always talking about war over there. You know, if they weren't fighting against another country, they fighting among themselves. If they weren't fighting against the Palestinians, you know, and Amalek over there, they fighting against themselves. You know, he said he's gonna make them a wild man. You know, and he also said he's gonna give them 12 princes, so they very rich over there. You know, that was their covenant. You know, that's the covenant he made with made with her. And you know, she gonna be the mother of a great nation. Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 13. Then she called the name of the Lord who spoke to her. You are the God who sees. For she said, I have also here seen him who sees me. Verse 14. Therefore, the well was called Bir Lahai Roi. Observe, it is between Kadesh and Bered. Verse 15. So Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram named his son whom Hagar bore Ishmael. Verse 16. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore Ishmael to Abram.
That's it. Abraham finally had him a son. He was 86, you know, they don't happen too much nowadays. But 86, that's a good age. Back then, they lived longer back then. You know, men. You know, now you like I said, we curse. You know, we won't get to live that long. You know, a lot of us died in our 40s. So you know, we ain't even able to see 50. But now back then they lived a long time. And like I said, anyway, you know, he had the Ishmael, you know, we're gonna stop right there, you know, but he had the Ishmael, you know. And we're gonna find as we going on, we're gonna see what happened with Ishmael, you know, Sarah and Abraham. Say, so that's in the class. We'll say, Elijah. Asherah means to Israel. Say say Wapanya Aquadon and turn to face the east. Say prayers. This is Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, and it reads, Abanawa, Shabbat Shabbayim, Wadash, Ayah, Shukah, Yahweh, Malabaka, Taba'ah, Watazaka, Ayah, Asha, Barataza, Kawa, Ayah, Bashamaya, Nathanawa, Nakam, Kayawan, Basalat Lanawa, Kabawat Lanawa, Kasalat Nawa, Kabawat Yanawa, Mala'ah, Tabayanawa, Bayasayawan, Abal, Awashinawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Naka, Amalatwa, Wahala, Wadapara, La Walayan, Aman in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, and we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever so be it. Across the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Abakushah, the fountain of Akash, the Rapah, Kala, Waka Madawa, Akash, the Tahar, Matamazaria, Akash, the Haquaya, Amarathya, Akash, Rakathwa, Atamala, Lagarsha, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, the Wadaman in English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirit, to cast them out in the name of Yahweh. Thank you, so be it.
This is in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh Yahushai. Wamayak Yalla. Wahalaya. Matazavaya. Alawap Yaham. Alawap Yah. Hasayaya. Hakwatazaya. Yah. Makaya Yah. Waha Ayat. Yah. Waha Wah Yahweh Bashir Yahushai. Wadaman. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushai. And Michael. And the angels. Commanders of Yohana. The generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Blessed Israel. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Barak Lanawa, Wa Yasharala, Wa Ba Yah, Sapara Yah, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Tawada Aman. Lord, in the name of Yahushua, bless us in Israel and the school, bless, heal, shield, protect. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in Hebrew. Asha, Ayan, Ahayaya, Mahayaya, Yabaa, Azayah, Azayah, Ma'am, Yahweh, Asha, Shemaya, Mahataradaza, Ayata, Lamawat, Ragaka, Ayanawa, Shemaka, Hana, La'a, Yanawan, Mala'a, Yayashan, Shawama, Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Ayah, Yamyanka, Yawaman, Ashamash, Laawa, Yakaka, Wayara, Malayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makarai, Yashamar, Abba, Nabaska, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazalka, Wa'aka, Ma'aba, Wa'awala, in English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hill, from whence cometh my help. My help coming from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer my foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee, but not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is the keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall observe thee from all evil. He shall observe thy soul. The Lord shall observe thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth, even forevermore. These curses. Psalms 83. These are curses. This is Psalms 83 in Hebrew. Al-Hayyam, Al-Damayalaka, Al-Tasharash, Wahala, Tashakwat, Al-Kayahana, Al-Yabaka, Yahama, Yawan, Rash, Al-Yaka, Yama, Samada, Wayata, Yatazawa, Atazabayawa, Yaka, Amawa, Lakawa, Manakaida, Agawa, Wala'a, Zaka, Sham Yasharala, Awada, Kaya, Nawatazawa, Nama, Yakadwa, Yaka, Mayawa, Yaka Ratawa, Ahala, Haya, Adawan, Wayashamai, Alayam, Mawaba, Hagayam, Gabal, Wamawan, Amalak, Palasha, Anyashayaba, Tazawa, Gam Ashawa, Nalawa, Aman, Hayawa, Zarawa, Laman Yalawa, Salah, Ashalahan, Kamalmaya, Kasayasara, Kabayaya, Banakal, Wayashwan, Nashamawa, Bayadawa, Wazakazaba, Zaba, Masalak, Hayawa, Daman, La Dama, Shayatama, Nada, Yamawa, Kara, Wakazaba, Wakazamana, Kana Sayakama, Wa, Asha, Amawa, Narasha, Ladawa, Ata, Nawa, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayatama, Kagalga, Kakwash, Panya Wakra, Kash, Tabarari Yara, Wa Kalahaba, Alohat, Haryam, Khan, Daradama, Basa Aka, Wabasa, Wabahaka, Tabahalam, Malaa, Payahan, Palawan, Waya Bakwasha, Shaka, Shanka, Yahweh, Yaba Shawa, Payahan, Palawan, Waya Bakwashwa, Shaka, Yahweh, Waya Wabashwa, Waya Bahawa, Adayai, Waya Kaparawa, Waya Abawa, Waya Dawadawa, Kaya Ama, Ata, Shaka, Yahweh, Labaka, Ayawan, Kaya Haratasa. In the English, to read, keep not thy silence, O God, hold not thy peace, be not still, O God, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult. They that hate thee have lifted up the head. They are taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let them cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel should be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Israelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, the Baal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines and with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They are hoping the children of Lot. Do unto them with the Midianites, as unto Sarah, as to Jaban, at the brook of Kisan, which prepares to Endor. They became as dawn from the earth, made their nobles like a rail, and like Zaid, yea, all their princes of Zabah and of Zamuna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, and as stubble for the wind, and as the fire burning of the wood, and as the flames setting the mountains on fire, to persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fear their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish. That men that they know, whose name alone is Yahweh, are the most high over all the earth.
So when you get a courtesy salute, so men Israel, Majah Sabbath, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. So our first sisters. So men Israel, Majah Sabbath, Barak, Yahweh Shema Thon Ba Shem Yahshua. I was on top, class dismissed.